All right, welcome back. Today, we have our Diablo 4 patch notes. We'll be taking a look at this together. We're going to be kind of going over it, reviewing it. I'll have a little bit of comments here and there, but let's see what we're getting ourselves into for Season 1. Are any classes absolutely screwed? Let's find out. All right, Diablo 4 patch notes is released today, July 18th. Let's start right here. New unique items and legendary aspects. New unique items and legendary aspects have been discovered in Sanctuary. Use them to enhance your characters in the Eternal and Seasonal realms. I made sure to let you guys know that they will be in the Eternal as well, because I know there's been a lot of rage on the forums recently about that. These unique items can be obtained from World Tier 4, and legendary aspects can be obtained from any World Tier. 6 unique items. A Havarian? Jeez. Spear of Lycander. Uber unique staff, World Tier 4. Gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite enemy. Can only occur once every 30 seconds. It's an extremely rare drop. Wish you luck in recovering it from the armies of the Burning Hells. So it looks like this is the rarest drop of the 6 uniques, because they only made that comment on this one. That's pretty cool. You got a spear here. You gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite. That is amazing. That is amazing. Every 30 seconds that can occur. That's incredible. Barbarian Azurath. Unique sword. Lucky hit. Your core skills have 20% chance to freeze enemies for 3 seconds and deal 0.75 to 1.5 cold damage to them. We're going to comment on this in a second. Flesh Render. One-handed mace. Debilitating roar and bloodhound deal 0.5 to 1.0 damage to nearby poisoned enemies. This is down here for some reason. Azurath and Flesh Render unique items have flat damage effects, which scale with power. For example, an 820 item power, Azurath deals between 3,359 and 6,718 damage. So these low numbers here, they do scale. That's like the very, very lowest end. It's kind of strange for them to even post it at such a low number, because you can probably never get the drop with that level of damage, because, well, you got to get it from World Tier 4, and by the time you get it, the item level will be much, much higher, because your character level will be higher, and blah, blah, blah. So you're never actually going to see a drop with this damage level. Lidless Wall makes a return. Very special from Diablo 2. Very special in my heart. Lucky hit. Oh, you have an active Bone Storm. Hitting an enemy outside of Bone Storm has a 5 to 25% chance to spawn an additional Bone Storm at their location. Each of your active sacrifice bonuses increases the chance by 25% and the total number of Bone Storms you can have by +1. So you could sacrifice all of them and get what? +3 Bone Storms and a 75% chance. Each of your active sacrifice bonuses increases the chance by 75%, by 25%, so that'd be 75% total. But you might want to keep the Golem active so you get the Bone Storm around the Golem, and then you're spawning additional Bone Storms. Kind of a little bit of a choice right there. I don't know. It's not necessarily the right or wrong choice, so something to think about. Eagle Horn, unique bow. Penetrating shot has a 30 to 80% chance to fire an arrow that bounces off walls and scenery. Hitting enemies from behind with penetrating shot will make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. That is amazing. And then Sorcerer. The Oculus, which is an incredible, it's got a special spot just like Lidless Wall, right? I love Oculus, like the Lidless Wall in Diablo 2. Gain the effect of teleport enchantment for free. Cool, that's great. When you invade using teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location. What? That is horrible. That is the worst thing on the unique list. With the hundreds of hours that you're going to be playing a character, that is guaranteed to eventually kill you. I'm talking hardcore in my mind. That's eventually going to cost you your character. It's going to teleport you into a mob, a big group, and you're going to blow up. That is horrible. I don't know what the idea is behind that. That sounds like the stupidest thing on the list so far. Now, legendary aspects. Audacity. When there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for 2.4 seconds. This can only occur once every 20 seconds, so it just happens automatically. Audacity. Utility aspect, which means it can go in the boots. When there are at least 5 close enemies, you just stun them automatically for 2.4 seconds. That's pretty cool. Craven. You gain 20 to 40% increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. Interesting. Barbarian, Ancestral Charge. Charge calls forth 4 Ancients who also charge, dealing 50 to 100% of the normal damage. That's pretty cool. Druid, Subterranean. Offensive aspect. Poison Creepers active also cast Landslide in a circle around you. Each skill, Earth skills deal 10 to 20% increased damage to poisoned enemies. Ooh, a poison Earth build. Gore Quills, Necromancer. Blood Lance will consume blood orbs to also conjure lances from them. Each additional blood lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced enemies. Cool. Pestilent Points. Pestilent Points is a weird name. Every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 150% of normal potency. That's probably the best aspect actually on the list so far. Damage-wise, that's crazy. Searing Wards. After spending 200 to 100 mana, your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy incoming small missiles. I didn't even know there was a difference between missile sizes. Not everyone has the same size missile, alright? But it's not the size that counts, don't worry. But, so the game differentiates between small and large missiles, I suppose. Interesting. Is there small, medium, and large, or is it just small and large, or I don't know. A ton of bug fixes. Let's see, accessibility, many fixes to screen reader, challenges, multiple issues. Specific challenges wouldn't provide proper rewards or could not be completed. Yeah, I ran into there was a specific challenge I had an issue with that it looks like it was fixed. But, oh, it wasn't giving progress to, something about leveling all characters to 50 or something. It wasn't showing the progress. I'm not sure if it counted, but looks like it wasn't showing it. Something that worked. Fix multiple issues where certain challenges could be progressed through unintended means. Fix multiple issues where players could gain progress for certain challenges. A bunch of challenge fixes. Alright, cool. Cooperative. Okay, I'm interested in this. Fix an issue where the camera wasn't functioning properly, where players were far apart in local co-op. Fix an issue where an NPC conversation boxes would overlap in multiple local co-op. Blah, blah, blah. Fix an issue where the rogue's inner sight would only fill up for one of the players in a co-op session. Fix an issue where dark potential challenge would be granted to both players when either player completed it, regardless of other player's progress. Fixed multiple instances where quest progress would not properly synchronize or quest progression could be blocked for local co-op. Blah. Fixed multiple issues that occurred during cutscenes for co-op players. Dungeons. Fix an issue would not be able to receive enough animus to progress. Fix an issue where stone carving fallen temple capstone. Duplicate. I've seen that all the time. Fix an issue where monster regen affects in Nightmare Dungeon would also affect structures in the dungeon. Fix an issue where Goatman and Chandler Corpse enemies would continuously respawn in Forsaken Quarry Dungeon. That's a good fix. Okay, so a bunch of bug fixes. We'll skip those because that's kind of boring. Okay, now it's mostly balance. Gameplay. Fix an issue where a number of enemies to defeat for Barbarian class Quest Master Battle were not displayed. Fix an issue where Iron Maelstrom could be cast more than 3 times, rapidly casting Warcry. That doesn't make sense. Fix an issue where stacking the Berserk, Ripping, Skullbreaker, and Anemia aspects would allow players to deal extreme amounts of damage. Fix an issue where the outer edge of Quakes granted to Hammer of Ancients via the aspect of Ancestral Echoes were dealing far more damage than intended. Recognize this adjustment as a significant decrease to Hammer of the Ancients Barbarian build, but we do not want its strength to be reliant on an underlying bug. That's fair. That's fair, but you know, you kind of have to make up for it eventually by buffing it, I guess, if it's now far weaker than you intended. We'll see. Druid, fix an issue where Earth Skill and Pulverize would consume 2 overpower buffs simultaneously. I've seen that a lot. I was running a build that did that, based off like being werebear form for a certain amount of time, being healthy, you know, that guaranteed overpower would consume both of them. Fixed an issue with a bonus effect on Bloodhowl with Night Howler's aspect would apply twice to Wolf Companions, but not at all for Ravens. Issue with Provocation. Fixed issue with automatic transformation for Insatiable Fury. So a bunch of bug fixes, okay. Bunch of bug fixes for the classes, alright, that's good. All bug fixes. So where are our balance changes? This is all bug fixes. Huge amount of bug fixes. So huge props for that there. Okay, this is where we're getting a little bit more interesting here. Dynamic load screens, release of Season of Malignant. This includes adding more assets to the loading screen, such as your player character. Altar of Lilith unlocks are now account-wide. Map discovery is now account-wide. Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for Silent Chest. Hey, that's good. Channel time for the Leave Dungeon ability has been increased from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. It generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in combat, so that melee characters don't have to chase their enemies as much. That's interesting. Okay. And then PS5 controller support. Yikes. World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increased from 15% to 20%. Monsters now drop 15% more items. Hey! World Tier 2's got a little bit more buffs going on. Okay. We like where World Tier 2 has landed overall, but are increasing its reward pace to better align with its difficulties. So you didn't like where it landed. Level scaling inside dungeons in most overworld territories have been adjusted in World Tiers 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point, up to a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, Legion events, Field of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare dungeons. I give players a better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world while still challenging themselves with structured endgame activities. Okay. Level scaling inside dungeons and most overworld territories have been adjusted. So they're further pushing you to Nightmare dungeons, because now they'll start. I mean, let's be honest. That's more of like a debuff to leveling speed if you're not participating in. Well, exclude world bosses from that, because you don't level from that really. It's not where you go to level. Legion events, Fields of Hatred, sure. Helltide and Nightmare dungeons, like these are your 4 leveling areas to try to avoid the level reduction in enemies. World Tier 3 example: if the player's level is below 55, the monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 56 to 60, the monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 61, the monster's level is 56. Wow. So that is very, very bad for open world leveling. 61 killing level 56s, it's not good. Either open world or dungeon leveling, non-nightmare dungeon. If the player's level 62, the monster's level is 57. From this point, the monster will always be -5 until World Tier 3's max monster level is 70. World Tier 4 example: if the player's level is below 75, the monster is 75. The player's level is 76 to 80, the monster's level is 75. The player's level is 81, the monster's level is 76. So the same thing. You essentially have to make sure you're participating in these options: Legion events, Field of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare dungeons to level. You're not going to level well without that. Experience for completing Whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 have been significantly increased. We observed that experience bonus reward for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together, instead of one player killing enemies while another member of their party waits at the dungeon entrance. True, but I don't see how this is going to fix that in any way, shape, or form. That has literally zero impact on that. We observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together, instead of one player killing enemies while another player... This has no impact on that at all. Increasing the experience from Whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 has literally zero impact on players being power leveled. Also, we want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together. That's not how that works. You don't have like a level 20 character being power leveled by a level 100 also helping. Like, you're fighting enemies that are substantially higher than the player that's being power leveled. That player's going to lose their character. In hardcore, they're going to die. They're better off sitting at the dungeon entrance, and I guarantee you they still level infinitely faster than trying to complete Whispers. This has zero... These are not related. I don't know. That makes no sense to me. We are adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than a player. Preseason Malignant bonuses was 15, 20, 25. Post-season of the Malignant, 1.5% bonus per level up to 10 levels. I knew this was going to happen. This affects power leveling, sure. This affects power leveling, but this does not remove it at all. You're still better off being power leveled. So this is almost pushing people to be power leveled more. Because now you can kill, if you're level 20, you can kill level 23s, sure. You could take them out and get the 25% bonus. But now you can't, as level 20, you can't kill level 30s to get the max bonus. So this is almost pushing people more to be power leveled. Because now you need someone to kill enemies 10 levels above you, which you can't do yourself. You're not doing that when you're leveling. I mean, I know you can do it at endgame and nightmare dungeons, blah, blah, blah. We get it. But while you're leveling, you're level 20, you're level 30, you're level 40. You're not killing enemies 10 levels above you. You need someone else to do that for you, essentially. So this is now, instead of getting the bonus with +3, you're now getting it at max bonus 10 plus levels above you. So now, again, this is pushing people to be power leveled more. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, that change. We're all adjusting experience rewards for monster levels for monsters level offsets for higher world tiers. Current world tier level offset, world tier 2 up to 3, world tier 3 up to +10, world tier 4 up to +100. Also adjusting experience rewards for monster level offsets for higher world tiers. For example, you are level 1, your friend brings you to world tier 4 and leaves you at the entrance of a dungeon. They start killing level 100 monsters. Prior to Season Millennium, you get level 100 monster XP times 1 plus 25. After Season of Millennium, you get level 11 monster XP times 1 plus 15. Never mind. Everything I just talked about, if I actually read the end. Wow. So power leveling is gone. I actually covered this in a previous video that it was very powerful. Power leveling was almost like it was too good not to do. So if someone lost their hardcore character, you could power level them very, very quickly and literally cut off, like, you can get to level 50 in under an hour. And I've done it. I have a video of that. I was showing that it's a little too good. So nerfing it would make sense, but this is a substantial nerf to the point where there is no power leveling anymore. Someone loses their hardcore character. Yeah, you can help them with your level 100, but they are not going to level much quicker. Yeah, it'll still be faster, sure, but not the substantial amount we saw. Wow, this is a massive hit. Wow. People gonna be mad. But that's... Blizzard, you could have found a middle ground, dude. Jesus, I know I made a video saying that power leveling needs to be nerfed a little bit because it's a little crazy, but Jesus Christ. Holy shit, I don't want my name on this. I feel like I did this. Holy shit. That's major. Just break this down, guys. Level 100 monster experience you'd get as a level 1. If I kill the level 100, you get the full experience for that level 100 mob that's meant for a level 95 player killing a level 100, for instance. That level 95 is supposed to get a nice chunk of experience from a level 100 elite. You'd get that full value. So I'm going to make up a number here. Let's say you kill a level 100 elite, you get 150,000 experience. You would get that as a level 1, and then you'd only need, like, I don't know, I'm gonna make up another number, 30,000 experience to level. So that thing would literally, like, level you, like, a few levels. Not in reality, but, like, that's how that would work. You'd get that full chunk of level 100 experience. Now it's gonna be dumbed down to a level 11 monster experience, so maybe you get, instead of 150,000 experience, you're gonna end up with, like, 4,000, 5,000 experience, something like that. And the bonus is reduced as well. Holy shit. Helltide. We're looking to increase the danger in Helltide's risk-reward gameplay by making the monsters a bit more challenging and the tortured gift of mysteries harder to open? Well, then make the rewards better, please. Let's see. Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than the player instead of 2. Okay, that's cool. Tortured gift of mysteries chest has its cost reduced to increase to 250 instead of 175. And no buff to it. This is like WoW Season of Mastery, where you're doing the same content you've already been accustomed to, you've already done it before, you've already cleared it, and you get rewarded with the same crap. That doesn't feel good. Your job is infinitely harder, and you're getting the same pay. You're a salaried employee, now you're working twice the hours, and you're still getting the same pay. That feels horrible. That's not good. That's not good. All interactable objects now have a chance of dropping aberrant cinders. Okay, a small chance. So we might have our rate increased by like fucking 5%. Jesus, Blizzard, come on. Balance updates. That's not good. That's not a good change. Okay, as our community continues to battle Burning Hills, the builds emerging from new players have shocked and delighted us. We've chosen to focus season of Malignant's balance, updates on clear itemization disparities over redesign of class features. The class changes are largely focused on numeric increases to skill upgrades and legendary aspects that players haven't yet found compelling. Additionally, we're changing critical strike damage power card glyphs to empower all damage instead of only core skills to enable more build strategies. Yes! I wanted a basic, that's good for me. Alright? I wanted a basic attack-only build on a Barbarian and a Druid. That's huge. There are also a few class stat decreases on sources which grant extreme amounts of damage, healing, or are unstoppable. In general, we prefer build-specific changes to be focused... to be bonuses. For build-specific changes to be bonuses instead of decreases. But we feel these changes are necessary for the overall health of the game. Uh-oh. Diablo 4 is a game that is continually evolving. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, they're putting up their defenses already. Uh-oh. Let's talk about class balance changes. Uh-oh. Alright, Barbarian, what you got for us? Violent double swing vulnerable duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. That was one of the changes I said that should come into play. I actually said make it 2 seconds. Yes! But what is left? What is left? Well, let's see. Furious upheaval damage bonus per stack increased from 3 to 5. Alright, so far so good. Power charge cooldown reduction is now capped to 3 targets for a maximum of 9 seconds of cooldown reduction. Okay, I understand that. Tactical round stomp fury gain increased from 25 to fury. Enhanced death blows damage bonus to bosses increased from 100 to 150. Enhanced steel grasp vulnerable duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds. Enhanced rupture damage increased from 30 to 45%. Warrior's Rupture attack speed bonus increased from 20 to 30%, and duration increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Fighter's Rupture healing increased from 15 to 18% max life. It's all buffs. What the hell? I expected nerfs. What's going on? Okay, great. Hamstring now only slows healthy enemies, and slow amount increased from 10, 20, 30 to 20, 40, 60. Okay, alright, that's fair. Ooh, that also sucks though. For, attacking enemies that are crowd controlled, there's a passive that increases our crit chance by 9% with 3 points to crowd controlled enemies. So if we have an enemy that's considered hamstrung because he's healthy, and then we knock him below the healthy state, does that instantly remove the slow? If so, that's actually more of a nerf than people realize. Cut to the bone bleeding damage bonus to vulnerable targets reduced from 6, 12, 18% to 5, 10, 15%. Okay, fair. Paragon Rats glyphs bonus now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Awesome. Aspects. Relentless Berserker's aspect berserking duration increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Sick. Battle Mad aspect berserking duration increased from 1.25 to from 1 to 2.5 to 2 to 3.5. Wow, that's good. Brawler's aspect damage increased from 1 to 1.3 to 1.5 to 1.8. Big. Aspect of Burning Rage damage increased from 0.08 to 0.14. This one's kind of cool. To 0.22 to 0.28. Wow, guys, these aspects are getting... That's almost triple damage. For the low end, at least. This is big, guys. This is double max as well. Holy. This is good stuff. Aspect of the Iron Warrior damage reduction increased from 15 to 25% to 18 to 28%. Slacking aspect lucky hit chance increased from 30 to 50% to 40 to 60%. Aspect of Ancestral Echoes lucky hit chance increased from 40 to 50% to 50 to 60%. Weapon Master's aspect lucky hit chance increased from 32 to 50 to 37 to 55. These are good stuff. Whereas devastating grips now explodes every 2 seconds or after it ends, and its hit cap has been removed. Wow. That's a buff to Whirlwind. Fields of Crimson bleeding damage bonus increased from 10 to 15%. Alright, Druids. It's cut off, but Druid. Enhanced Claw attack speed bonus increased from 10 to 15%. Storm Strike damage reduction reduced from 25 to 15%. Damn it, I saw that coming. Boulder damage increased from 33 to 46%. Savage Trample Spirit gained increased from 20 to 40. Prime Lacerate healing increased from 3 to 5%. Cataclysm lightning damage increased from 64 to 77%. And tornado damage from 19 to 23%. Okay, yeah, Cataclysm felt horrible. Supreme Cataclysm vulnerable duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Prime Cataclysm duration increased from 2 to 4 seconds. Nice. Prime Grizzly Rage now grants Unstoppable for 6 seconds instead of while active. Aw, that's a nasty nerf to Grizzly Rage. Provocation threshold required for guaranteed overpower reduced from 35 to 30 25 to 24 20 16. That is beautiful for overpower builds. Very nice. Spirit Boon. Masochistic now also requires a lucky hit chance of 75%. Ugh. Prickle Skin Thorns increased from 0.1 to 0.15. Iron Feather maximum life increased from 10 to 14%. Bolster Fortify increased from 10 to 15% of maximum life. Overload damage increased from 0.2 to 0.25. Okay. Paragon Spirit Cliffs bonus now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Aspect of Calm Breeze lucky hit chance increased from 5 to 10% to 7 to 12%. Nice. Balanced Aspect maximum spirit increased from 30 to 50 to 60 to 80. Aspect of the Tempest damage bonus increased from 7 to 5 15% to 10 to 18%. Skinwalker's Aspect healing increased from 0.05 to 0.1 to 0.07, 0.12. Symbiotic Aspect cooldown reduction reduced from 4 to 8 to 3.5. Aspect of the Stampede damage bonus increased from 10 to 20 to 16 to 26%. Shepherd's damage bonus increased from 6 to 8% to 6 to 10%. Insatiable Fury Werebear skills ranks increased from 2 to 3. Mad Wolf's Glee Werewolf skills rank increased from 2 to 3. Wow, that's good. All right, Necro, what you got? Initiate Decompose Slow increased from 30%. Initiates Decompose Slow increased from 30% to 50%. Paranormal Sever cast required for vulnerable reduced from 4 to 3. Enhanced Blood Surge healing increased from 2.5 to 3% of max life. Enhanced Blood Lance damage reduction from piercing reduced from 15% to 10%. Huh. That's good. Bone Prison initial essence gained increased from 15 to 25. Aberrant Iron Maiden healing increased from 5 to 7% of maximum life. Golems move faster and unhindered through enemies when their cooldown is activated. Cool. Supreme Blood Wave leaves behind blood orbs earlier in its path. Raised Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, and Corpse Tendrils range for auto-targeting corpses on mouse and keyboard increased by 50%. Huh. Raised Skeleton, Skeletal Priest bonus damage increased from 20 to 30%, and then Skeletal Priest healing increased from 10 to 15%. Evolution bonus damage to vulnerable reduced from 6, 12, 18% to 5, 10, 15. That's a little bit of a nerf. Transfusion minion healing increased from 15, 30, 45 to 20, 40, 60. That's good. Keep your minions alive more. Drain Vitality lucky hit chance increased from 25 to 30. Amplified damage increased from 369 to 4812. That's good. Look at the dead. Necromancer's minions will now automatically resummon after respawning during a world boss fight. There is no respawning, there is only death. Play hardcore. Skeleton Warrior Defenders upgrade Thorns inherited increased from 40 to 50%. Skeleton Mage upgrade attack required for an additional Shadow Bolt reduced from 5 to 4. Bone Skeleton Mage upgrade fortify amount increased from 11 to 20%. Iron Golem upgrade attacks required for slam attack reduced from 5 to 4. So a little bit of a minion buff there. Overall survivability needs to go up for minions though, because who cares if we can heal them more if they get one shot, right? You're healing nothing. Essence Glyphs bonus now affects all damage instead of just core. Splintering Aspect Bone Shard damage reduced. Bonus reduced from 50 to 100% to 30 to 60%. Oh, Bone Shard. Aspect of Plunging Darkness bonus damage increased from 50 to 100% to 75, 25 from 75 to 125%. That's good. Coldbringer's Aspect Blizzard cooldown reduced from 10 to 8 seconds. Aspect of Hungry Blood chance to fire a Blood Lance increased from 10 to 20% to 13% to 23%. Not bad. A little bit of a buff. Blood-soaked Aspect damage increased from 0.15 to 0.2 to 0.24 to 0.31. Aspect of Ultimate Shadow damage increased from 0.16 to 0.22 to 0.43 to 0.48. Huge. Aspect of grasping veins critical strike damage bonus reduced from 30 to 60% to 20 to 40%. How do you say that? Osseous? Osseous Gale aspect bonus. Bone Storm duration increased from 4 to 8 to 5 to 10 seconds. That's cool. Because this can combo quite well with the new legendary. I mean, with the new unique if you happen to get your hands on it. The one that's Necro related to all the Bone Storms. Aspect of damage bonus increased from 30. Aspect of the damned damage bonus increased from 30 to 40% to 40 to 50%. Blood-bathed aspect echo damage reduction reduced from 70 to 60% to 60 to 50%. Aspect of reanimation skeletons damage bonus increased from 20 to 30% to 30 to 40%. Nice. Bloodless Scream essence gained increased from 2 to 5 to 7 to 10. Deathless Visage damage increased from 0.25 to 0.35 to 0.28 to 0.38. Not too bad for Necros. Overall, it's a buff, I would say, except for the main thing there, which would be there is a nerf. Where are you? Something aspect of Bone Shard. That's a severe nerf. That's a nasty nerf. 40% reduction from the top end. Rogues. Advanced rapid fire duration increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Caltrops cast speed increased by 15%. Enhanced cold imbue lucky hit chance increased from 30 to 40%. Enhanced smoke grenade damage bonus increased from 15 to 20%. Methodical dash maximum cooldown reduction increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Concealment stealth duration increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Very nice. Enhanced dark shrouds chance to not be consumed increased from 10% to 14%. Cool. Supreme Death Trap cooldown reduction increased from 10 to 12 seconds. Victimized lucky hit chance increased from 30 to 35%. Siphoning Strike now also requires a lucky hit chance of 75%. Rugged damage reduction against damage over time effects increased from 5, 10, 15 to 6, 12, 18. Nice. Mending Obscurity healing per second while stealth increased from 369 to 4812. Good. Aftermath energy restored increased from 25, 50, 75 to 30, 60, 90. Combat Glyphs bonus now affects all damage instead of just core skills. Eldritch Bounty legendary node duration increased from 6 to 9 seconds. Operations Ultimate cooldown reduction increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Aspect of Volatile Shadows damage increased from 0.1075 to 0.193 to 0.2 to 0.27. It's almost double the damage on the bottom end, on the low end. Icy Alchemist aspect chill increased from 15 to 25%. Very nice. Shadow Slicer's aspect damage increased from 25, 35 to 80 to 100%. That's massive. Huge buff. Toxic Alchemist damage increased from 0.080 to 0.13 to 0.11 to 0.16. It seems like the general guidelines here, or that they're kind of following, is to increase the damage of aspects that do an additional effect. Barb's had that as well. That's a interesting design. It's like the Berserker thing that pulses fire around your character. Boom, boom. That's going to do a lot more damage now. That's an interesting design. I don't dislike it. Vengeful Aspect's lucky hit chance increased from 30 to 50 to 40 to 60. Aspect of Imitated Imbuements duration increased from 5 to 9 seconds. Aspect of Stolen Vigor healing increased from 0.02 to 0.06 to 0.04 to 0.08. Aspect of Lethal Dusk life on kill duration increased from 4 to 6 seconds. Aspect of Noxious Ice bonus damage increased from 10 to 25% to 14 to 29%. Aspect of Elusive Menace dodge chance increased from 1 to 5% to 3 to 7%. Skyhunter's energy gain increased from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30. Grasp of Shadow lucky hit chance increased from 20 to 30% to 24 to 34%. Overall, a rogue seems like some pretty balanced changes, not too bad. Overall, I'd say it's like more of a convenience buff than anything. Sure, you won't notice much of it, I think, except for that where was it? Here. If you're using the Shadow Slicer's aspect, this is the biggest change for sure. That's huge. Alright, Sorcerer. Enhanced Charge Bolts damage increased from 24 to 30% and now benefits from skill ranks. Destructive Charge Bolts damage reduction increased from 20 to 25%. Destructive Incinerate damage reduction increased from 20 to 25%. Ice Blade's cast's clean up has been tightened, allowing players to act after it's cast sooner. Huh. Firebolt initial damage increased from 10 to 18%. Wizard's Firewall maximum increased mana regeneration increased from 25% to 35%. Wizard's Blizzard's core skill mana cost reduction increased from 10 to 20%. Nice. Supreme Deep Freeze cooldown reduction increased from 50% to 100%. Good. Passives. Elemental Dominance now also affects mastery skills instead of just core skills. Potent Warding duration increased from 3 to 9 seconds. Protection Barrier duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Align the Elements damage reduction per second increased from 123 to 369. Mana Shield's damage reduction increased from 5, 10, 15 to 7, 14, 21. Wow. Devouring Blaze bonus critical strike damage reduced from 10, 20, 30 to 7, 14, 21. Aw. Devouring Blaze bonus critical strike damage to immobilized reduced from 25, 50, 75 to 10, 20, 30. Oh. Wow. That is not even worth using anymore. Fiery Surge's mana regeneration increased from 10, 20, 30 to 15, 30, 45. That is a massive nerf. Oof. Destruction Glyph now affects all damage instead of just core damage. Spark Enchantment chance to form crackling energy increased from 10 to 14%. Frozen Arm Enchantment chance to be cast increased from 20 to 30%. Hell, that's good. Incinerate Enchantment cooldown reduced from 18 to 14 seconds. Hydra Enchantment mana threshold reduced from 300 to 200. Good. Legendary aspects. Aspect efficiency mana cost reduction increased from 10 to 20 to 15 to 25% and now also affects mastery skills. Good stuff. Aspect of Armageddon damage increased from 0.205 to 0.25 to 0.35 to 0.4. That's big too. Aspect of Shattered Stars damage increased from 0.15 to 0.2 to 0.2 to 0.25. We're seeing the same thing here, where they're trying to increase damage of aspects that add like additional damage elements. Serpentine Aspect Hydra duration reduction reduced from 30 to 20% to 20 to 10%. Glacial Aspect of Iceback bonus damage to Frozen reduced from 25 to 15%. Glacial Aspect Ice Spikes damage increased from 0.22 to 0.3 to 0.25 to 0.35. Interesting. Kind of like a little bit of a nerf and then a buff on the next one for Ice Spikes. Aspect of Frozen Tundra Ice Spikes. Oop. Damn it. Aspect of Frozen Tundra Ice Spikes damage increased from 0.25 to 0.35 to 0.3 to 0.4. Aspect of Frozen Wake Ice Spikes damage increased from 0.2 to 0.3 to 0.25 to 0.35, and Chill increased from 10 to 15%. Aspect of Biting Cold chance to apply vulnerable to frozen enemies increased from 25 to 35 to 30 to 40. Encased Aspect Life and Mana Restore per second increased from 10 to 20 to 20 to 30. Stable Aspect chance for a free cast increased from 5 to 10 to 7 to 12. Aspect of Splintering Energy chance to spawn an additional Lightning Spear increased from 11 to 20% to 41 to 50%. Wow, what the hell? Yeah, because that was useless. Aspect of Splintering Energy chance to spawn an additional Lightning Spear increased from 11% to 41%, 20% to 50%. Massive buff. Aspect of Unbroken Tether chance for additional Chain Lightning Chains increased from 25 to 35% to 30 to 40. Cool. Gloves of Illuminator Fireball damage reduction reduced from 65 to 75 to 55 to 65. Isu's Heirloom critical strike chance for move speed increased from 15 to 25% to 20 to 30%. Isidora's Overflowing Cameo chance to release a Lightning Nova increased from 10 to 15%. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty decent balance across the sorcerer. I don't feel it's like a nerf or really too big of a buff. But the unused stuff is definitely getting buffed a little bit. Aspect of Disobedience maximum stacks reduced from 100 to 60, reducing maximum bonus armor from 25 to 50% to 15 to 30. Ugh. Aspect of Retribution bonus damage to stun reduced from 20 to 40 to 10 to 20. Exploiter's Aspect bonus damage to Unstoppable reduced from 20 to 50 to 20 to 40. Starlight Aspect Resource Restore increased from 10 to 20 to 20 to 40. Butcher's Cleaver Slow increased from 40 to 75% to 61 to 75%. Increased bonus to drop ancestral and sacred items in Nightmare Dungeons from 5% to 10%. Moved a 20% chance to drop an extra equipment item from elite monsters outside of Nightmare Dungeons and Helltide. Increased chance to drop an extra equipment item from elite monsters in nightmare dungeons and Helltide by 10%. Nightmare dungeons now have a 50% chance to drop a second legendary item upon completion. Cool. Nightmare dungeons now give 3 rare items upon completion, up from 1. Nice. Increased monster HP scaling from 85 to 100% bonus per extra player in a party. So co-op is no longer just actually getting a net gain with more players. Now it's equivalent. Okay. Adjusted the scaling of the Greed Shrine to improve its effectiveness throughout the game. More bosses now drop potions more often. There's no longer a limit on how many materials you can refine into higher materials at once, thank you. Many affixes are too efficient and are outshining alternatives. We're looking to refine the outliers, improve the number of meaningful choices on competitive slots, and increase the overall flexibility of items. We know these changes will reduce the total amount of possible power a character can possess, so we'll be monitoring these changes, how these changes affects players' ability to conquer expected milestones throughout the season. We're increasing the availability of affixes below to make it easier to include in different builds. Control of impairment duration reduced can now appear on pants. Barrier generation can now appear for all classes. It will also begin dropping later in the game. Lucky hit chance while you have a barrier can now appear for all classes, reduced by 12% when on helm and 20% when on amulet or offhand. Ugh. Mastery skill damage newly added can appear on sorcerer weapons, scales identically to core skill damage. Resistance to all elements can now appear on shields. The core stat bonus on weapons has been overpowering, so we're pulling back on this bonus. Shit. 50% stronger when on weapons, 25% stronger when on weapons now. Oh, 25% across the... Oh, God. Cooldown reduction affixes often felt mandatory due to their raw power. Magic cooldown reduction will remain a highly desirable stat, but the penalty for not prioritizing it won't be as harsh. Cooldown reduction reduced by about 30%? That's gonna destroy builds. That's bad. That's not good. Human skill cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Trap skill cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. These are bad changes right here. This is awful. We're seeing critical strike damage and vulnerable damage often viewed as a hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4. That is true. We believe this is a step towards allowing more builds to flourish, and we'll continue to make changes in support of this goal. Critical strike damage reduced by about 17%. Lightning critical strike damage 17%. Critical strike damage of bone 70%. Vulnerable damage reduced by about 40%. Ooh. Disparities in inherited affixes can rule some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. These are receiving harsher reductions than their normal affix counterparts to increase weapon flexibility. Cooldown reductions inherent on offhands reduced by 35%. Critical strike damage inherent on swords reduced by 50%. Vulnerable damage inherent on crossbows reduced by about 65%. What the hell? This is a ridiculous nerf to barbs right here. That is a very big nerf. This is a very big nerf to our rogue buddies. Damage bonus to crowd control enemies was overpowering relative to the ease of activating it versus stricter crowd control type specific affix. Damage to crowd controlled enemies decreased by 30%. Damage to frozen enemies increased by 20%. We have seen that skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters many levels above their own. Oh no, we want to support this, but the current situation is beyond what we believe is correct for long-term health of the game. To chase this goal, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defensive affixes. We know this will make our endgame content more deadly, particularly for those chasing our pinnacle boss. An encounter not meant for the faint of heart. Overcoming the pinnacle boss will take every ounce of your grit, and you can muster all the tools at your disposal. We will continue to evaluate feedback from the community and make changes for combat mechanics. Physical damage increase. What the heck am I reading here? So physical damage across the board. Shifting power to many offensive affixes. This is very confusing, because what they're saying here doesn't even correlate to what's below it. Well, I guess it kind of does. To chase this goal, we're shifting power to many offensive affixes from defensive. I assume there's going to be some nerf to defensive ones in this list. So everything's increased 25% here. Damage over time increased for physical, fire, shadow. bludgeoning, 25% with human, shapeshift, every weapon type, blood skill damage, bow, brawling, companion, conjuration, 30%, 33%, cutthroat skill, darkness, earth, frost, imbued, human skill damage increased, shock, skill, trap. Okay, here we go. We're getting to the nerfs. Weapon mastery, so damage increased, total armor reduced by about 30%, attack speed for 4 seconds after dodging an attack increased by 20%, damage for 4 seconds, total armor while in werebear form reduced by 25%, total armor while in werewolf form reduced by 25%, total damage reduction from close enemies reduced by 20%, distant enemies reduced by 20%, damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding reduced by 25%, burning, poison, damage over time, reduction while fortified, all reduced by 25%. Survivability is going to be a little bit tougher. Overall, I'd say everything makes sense so far in this list. Makes sense. It's gonna be rough though. Make sure you don't go glass cannon builds in hardcore. This is gonna lead to more deaths for sure. One thing I would say that doesn't make sense is I do not agree with the cooldown reduction with offhands here. I don't agree with the cooldown reduction here. I don't think that's a smart move. This will destroy some builds, especially barbarians. This will absolutely demolish some builds. Make it even harder to do. And I love how they said stuff like affixes not affixes, I'm sorry. Aspects were hard to get. So they're making it like easier to get some of them. I don't even know where they said that. But they said that and then like didn't say anything about that, like about what highlight. Let's see. We'll highlight all. Let's just go take a quick look here. Okay, I don't actually see the word aspect here. Maybe I misread that. Well, it is what it is. I guess let's get into this season 1 and let's see what we got. Let's see how this plays out. I will see you guys in season 1. I will definitely be streaming, and hopefully I catch you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about these patch notes here. Some stuff, some people are gonna be upset for sure, but oh, here we go. Increasing the availability of the affixes below, make them easier to include in different builds. That's what I was talking about. Not aspects, affixes. What they need to do is make some build required aspects. There's some aspects that you like. I'm sorry. Yeah, some aspects that you require for some builds. You don't get them until you're like level 60 or 80. Like that's the first time you see them. I'm talking about like shout cooldown reduction, fury per second. Those aspects, like you need them for some bar builds. You don't see them until like endgame. Kind of sucks waiting for them. And then once you get them, you're like stuck with your item that you have it on or put it on. You can't even change it because you need to wait to get another one. Obviously, when you get to Nightmare Dungeon farming, we're at the very, very end, then you get them a little bit more often, but still they're quite rare. That needs to change. Well, like I said, catch you guys in the next video. Catch you on the stream, hopefully, and I'll see you guys in Season 1.